Right. There's a couple of things I need to do first today, once we jump on the server, based on what I experienced last night regarding the trailer farm being somewhat glitchy in the fact that it was doubling crops. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell the farm trailer and I'm going to replace it with another one. A different trailer. I'm probably going to go for the excuse me today, my VCD is acting up a little bit. I've not used my voice a lot today, so let's just turn that down. Right, let me log in first of all as a farm admin, because I'm going to need to adjust some finances and things. Where are we? Oh, Mr. Helgi's been on the server since last night. Driven about 5 yards. Done a bit of oh yeah, first things first, let's get rid of the trailer. Because something was going weird with that. And then we're going to get a new one. Gonna have added them today. Beat all the A-train. I can't really afford it. Right. Let me fix that quickly. I'll sort the money out in a minute. I just want to be able to buy it. Let me reset that back to the farm. And basically what I want is I only want the back bit. I only want the back bit. I don't want the front part of the truck. So get rid of that bit. Getting a bit of stuttering going on at the minute. Bit of lag. Huge amount of lag. Huge amount of lag there for a second. Come on. I mean, the server's been restarted. I'm a little bit confused as to why I would get so much lag. Right. It's lagging like hell. Oh, is it because I've got... No, it shouldn't be. I shouldn't have anything open. Oh, it's probably fucking my cloud. My OneDrive, live drive thing. because I'm currently in the process of moving some files around on my PC to try and free up some space. And on some of my hard drives, and because of that, Live Drive is going to be trying to upload and sync files. I don't want it uploading and syncing anything while I'm trying to stream. There's a time and a place for uploading and syncing. And it's not while I'm in the middle of a game. Right. So, trailer has been switched, which is good. What I may do as well, here. Somewhat here. Right. And drop that, we can lose that. I'm also thinking what else I'm going to get rid of while I'm here. I want to get rid of the sprayer. I want to replace that with the chrome one, I think. I'm going to bother with a cover on it. Right. So leave that there for a second. Right, we've got the big Fent. We'll put him on loading wagon, I think. Kind of makes more sense. And some people are asking, why am I taking a loading wagon down to this field? And it's because we are running the straw me mod, which enables you to do straw from corn stalks and soybeans and I think canola as well. Honestly, that straw is our lifeline at the minute. So obviously it gives us a great way of maximising our profits off of fields. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to harvest this first bit. So yes, the plan is do the straw on this field. As well as obviously sell the corn. Let's go give this a whirl. That's better. Yeah, we're not getting double crop now. We're not getting the double crop situation. Can live with that. Can live with that. It was just very weird yesterday. Do that. "54% complete." Yeah, we're rocketing along. We've got a lot of harvesting to do. But we're harvesting well. Be nice to get this crop done today. And get it sold. Maybe get a bit more of the loan repaid. Possibly. Maybe. %. Need to go and empty again. We're up to what, 4,000, 3,000? I've done 3 empties so far. And we've almost done 1 complete lap of the field.
I can hire a worker.
Okay. Why is he driving so slow? Here's Mr. Fent. Right, let's have a look then. The straw situation. $39,000 litres. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. What we ought to check is, where do we sell the corn stalks? Once we finish with them. Barn supplies. That's very handy, because that's right on the farm. Corn stalks for the win. £11,000. 11 grand for one trailer load of corn stalks. What? Worth doing. Definitely worth doing. However, unfortunately for me, the tractor, Mr. Harvester, has stopped with his pipe in the crop. How unfortunate. $51,000 litres in the trailer currently. think what I probably need to do is try and empty harvester when he's at the bottom of this row. Obviously, in an ideal situation, I would be driving the harvester myself with Follow Me and using have the Fent running in Follow Me. We've got the corn store, so we'll trail a load of these in a minute. Nice. Alright, let's head over. Let's get these sold. 68,000 litres. Then we'll be ready to unload the harvester again. Carry on collecting the straw. Another 11 grand. Happy days. 26,000 litres in coal stores. Half full, just over half full on the trailer. Make sure we follow it all the way to the bottom, because then it's able to do the row coming back without needing to be emptied. Which I'm kind of enjoying. Means I only have to empty it as it's travelling this way. I don't have to empty it as it's coming back the other way. Which means I'm not going to do any crop destruction. Can you give me the pipe? Oh. Come on. Give me the pipe. %, full. I'll get another 11.5 grand. Taking us up to what, 33, 35 grand just from selling the straw so far. Without selling any of the corn, we've made 35 grand. Very profitable. Like I say, if you mix that with the contracts and you do straw when you're doing the contracts, it makes the contracts so much more profitable. Oftentimes the straw you will collect and sell from a contract will actually pay you more than actually the contract. Just wasn't quite quick enough to get there, was I? Not to worry. There we go, perfect. Got one more empty. And then we'll have to go sell the trailer. And that's when we'll make some money. That's when we'll make some money. $1,000. Been doing a pretty decent job with the straw so far. Keeping up with the harvester. Good thing is we've got time on our side because this is our field, so we're not going to be pressured into having to get the straw collected before we finish the field like you are with a contract, because the minute you complete a contract you lose access to the field. That causes a bit of a problem when you're trying to collect straw. I'm going to go and empty that in a second. Starting to get a bit of a pile up now. Farming! Yes, I'm farming, Mr. Helgi. I noticed somebody started the corn harvest and then, for whatever reason, stopped after doing about 5 yards of the field. So I've kind of been playing early today. Because there's a good chance I might not be able to play this evening. Because I think my father has a football match to go to. Which is going to obviously mess me thing. Come on, harvester, put your pipe out, please, so I can empty you. And I wanted to, another reason why I've jumped on early today as well is because I wanted to fix the issue with the trailer we had last night by installing a new trailer and using that instead of the one, the vanilla trailer, which was doing weird things with the crops last night. So I've got rid of the trailer and replaced it with this one. And we're not getting the double crops. we're not getting duplicated crops in the trailer now. And all that weirdness. So I'm quite happy. Some people will say it's a little bit of a cheat in the sense that I sold the vanilla trailer and got like 60,000 bucks for it. I then bought the new trailer for like 160,000 bucks. And then I sold half of the new trailer back and got our money back, but we still keep this. So effectively we've got this trailer for free. Plus we made like 60,000 bucks. From selling it, the old one. So Yeah, that might be a little bit of a cheaty way of doing it, but that's unfortunately the way the game works, unfortunately. When you get one of these trailers that's like two separate trailers, when you sell one half of the trailer, you get your money back. So effectively, you've gained the second half of the trailer for nothing. Right, well, I need to figure out, where am I going to sell the corn? Corn. US Mill. Which is where? Oh, right in the middle of town. Okay. I haven't been there yet. Haven't been right into the heart of things. Jeeves Mill? Turn right, I suppose. So far, we've been making good money, because every trailer load of straw is $11,500. This will be the first time we're making money from selling the corn. Another good thing about this trailer is that it doesn't slow down when you go up hills. It's also a little bit shorter than I think the original trailer, which means it might be a little bit easier getting into the BGA. And also, this trailer will actually carry everything. So this trailer will do silage and potatoes and stuff, which the vanilla trailer wouldn't do. Is the Google Drive up to date? Yes, it is. I have added the 2 new mods to the Google Drive. The Wilson Super B and the Wilson A Train. They are on the Google Drive. I'm thinking at some point we might grab an A train. I've not changed the map. Mr. Helgi. I've not done any updates to the map. The only thing I've added is 2 new mods. 2 trailer mods. I've just added 2 trailers. So there's 2 new files to download. The Wilson Super B and the A train. They should be dated. I'll have a look at the info. Modified 1349 by me. Should be today, I think. If it's sorted by, if the La Coronella folder is sorted by last modified in descending order, they are the latest 2 mods. The latest 2 mods. So in the mod folder, they are also dated 29th of the 9th. 29th of the 9th. Where's my sell point? over here. The only slight drawback to this trailer compared to the vanilla one is this trailer only has one compartment, so can only transport one crop at a time. You can't transport two separate things. But that's not a problem, because generally speaking, when you update, you generally only transport one crop at a time anyway. I know last night I transported sunflowers and oats, but that was more to test what was going on with the trailer and why the trailer, and to see how the trailer was being weird and duplicating the crop that you put into it. No, you have to refresh the page on Google Drive. Always have to hit the F5 refresh key. It's like any web page, I suppose, because your browser's going to give you a cached version. It's going to give you like a cached version of the site. So unless you actually like refresh it, it's just going to load the cache when you revisit it. But yeah, we made, well, I wasn't even paying attention to the money situation then. So I didn't actually see how much we got paid for the trailer full of corn. But we've got 232,000 bucks in the bank, which is nice. Again, the target figure we need to make sure we have is at least 280,000. Make sure we cover the loan payment at the end of the day. I mean, hopefully the loan payment will come down a bit based on the fact that I have repaid a little bit of it yesterday when we was doing the silage and stuff, silage bales. Obviously we've still got a big chunk of cash coming this evening when the BGA pays us for the silage that we delivered there. I've already done the digestate. I've transferred the digestate and sold that. You get about what was it, 5,000 bucks for a tanker of digestate, which I suppose is okay. It's better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. The digestate hasn't cost us anything, so it's a bonus. But obviously the two lots of digestate that I sold yesterday have not yet paid for the tanker that I bought to transport it, because the tanker was about, what was it? The tanker was about 68 grand. So the digestate paid about 10,000, so we're still 58 grand in red. There goes Mr. Helgi. Bum, bum, bum. He's running about. He's running about. Right, need to go sell the corn stalks. Need to go sell the straw. Yeah, you can dismiss the helper. You should be able to do that. Can you not? You do have the privileges to do hiring and firing of workers. does it not let you because I was the one that hired the helper? Okie dokie, let me fire him. He's fired. Probably because I hired the worker and I don't... It might be because as obviously a server admin, I have some privileges that even farm managers don't have. And probably a farm manager can't override me. So if I've hired a worker, it might not be possible for a farm manager to fire him. Could be the case, I'm guessing. Could be the case. But yes, I changed the loading wagon as well, by the way. I sold off the red one and I bought the chrome one instead because it's got a bigger capacity. In some respects, the if you like, the profit I made from switching the trailer has been reinvested into obviously the price difference between this loading wagon and the one we sold. And I also switched over the auger wagons as well. I got rid of the auger wagon and replaced it with the Millennial Farmer one. So again, I suppose technically we've not profited from switching the main trailer, because that money that we got when that 60 grand that we got when I did the refund type thing and returned the trailers has been spent on the difference between the red loading wagon and this one and the auger wagon that we had and the Millennial Farmer one. So we haven't really gained 60 grand at all. Just been kind of diverted into cosmetic changes on some of the other equipment. But it's all good stuff. I also figured I'd jump in and play a bit of Farm Sim earlier today to just make sure I had a break from playing Mafia. I've played a lot of Mafia. I've got 2 videos rendered already, which I did last night, which I need to upload to the YouTube channel, which I'll probably do this evening if I do have to go out. Because then they can be uploading whilst I'm not using the computer, kind of thing. I've got I think 2 more videos recorded ready to render in Vegas. I'm just not sure how to do it because of the weird thing with the Mafia game is there's no way to save and exit the game after you've completed a chapter. You've kind of got to go into the next chapter and you've got to go through the cutscene at the start of the chapter until you actually get control of your character. You can't save and exit. And then when you reload your save to carry on, unlike in Mafia 2 where it would always load it from the beginning of the chapter, and you'd have to watch the cutscenes again and start everything again. Mafia actually picks up where you saved, which means for someone like me trying to record YouTube videos, if I load a game save, I can't then record the cutscene and everything that gives you the basically the introduction to what the mission is and what it's all about. The only way I can record the cutscene is if I replay the chapter from the main menu. The only problem with doing that is when you replay a chapter, it then doesn't automatically carry on into the next chapter. As soon as you've replayed a chapter, it goes back to the main menu. So I'm kind of in a position at the moment where the next time I play Mafia, I've got to do a mission. At the end of that mission, start recording, and then record for a bit, and then I've got to go back and replay the mission I started with just to make sure I can record the beginning of the mission. It's ever so weird. It's ever so weird. How that all goes. I'm having quite a lot of fun with the game. There's definitely some quite big changes they've made to some of the stuff from the original. And they've definitely added a lot more scripted events into some of the missions, just to make it a bit more cinematic and exciting, I suppose. Which is a bit jarring. Like I did a mission last night where I got chased by an armoured like tank, and I was like, I definitely don't remember that being in the original. I remember being chased by regular police cars and having to shoot and disable regular police cars that were following me. I don't remember getting the tank chasing me. One of the things I did notice yesterday when I was playing Mafia and recording it, does seem to be sometimes some little performance issues where the frame rate drops a little bit. It's a little bit sort of framey. And I've also noticed some very weird things like physics in the world. Like I'll be driving down a road and there'll be a truck just falls out of the sky. And I'm like, where did that come from? You just notice these random like physics things, weird like little glitches. But it's definitely an improvement over the original game. If you've ever played the original game on a modern computer, you will know that the controls and the game mechanics are really, really fucking awful. So it's nice to be able to play the game and experience the story with controls that actually work properly, with mechanics that are actually cut like, you know, modern. There's definitely some like little weirdy things. do like the fact as well that they fixed one of the bugs or one of the issues with the church mission. Because I always found that to be very weird in the original game, when you get blown, when you jump off the roof of the building, and your character takes damage, and then the next part of the game starts and your character has no health because he suffered damage in the cutscene. It's like, no. So you then have to kind of go back and replay the section before the cutscene and try and get through that section without losing health, because you know for a fact you're going to lose about 80% of your health in the cutscene, which then makes the bit that comes after the cutscene even more difficult to play through. When you start having the gunfight with the cops and the gunfight in the church. I'm so pleased they fixed that in the remake. So when you come out, when you jump off the roof of the building, your character does take damage, but then when the cutscene ends and you get control to start the next bit, you've got your health back. Your character's health has come back. It's like, oh, brilliant. Brilliant. But then one of the things I also noticed was they've removed some of the choice, the player choice. There are a couple of missions in the original game where you as the player can make an actual decision on how a mission will actually go. You know, like you have the you know, for example, you get the option, you as a player have the option to shoot a character or let them go free, you know, and you as the player can make that decision, and you know, the game goes on from there. I've noticed they've removed that in the remake. The decision is completely out of your hands, and the game is scripted in such a way that the choice is taken away from you and the game just plays out with one option. It's a little bit or because then that obviously limits replay ability, because obviously as a player you could play through the game once and pick, you know, one option at all the different moments and choices, and then the next time you play the game you could pick the opposite choice and experience a different outcome and situation. But it's a little bit weird that they've removed that option for you. But whether that's to make the story make more sense later on, I don't know. Because obviously I'm not that far into it. I'm also wondering if there's going to be at any point within the game where your character gets time just to like explore the world and stuff. A bit of like a free roam type situation. Because I know there are some side missions in the game, but so far I don't see, or I haven't seen an option for me to be able to actually go and do any of them. Because all the missions I've done so far, I've been very specific about, you go from this point to this point, and then this point to this point, and this point to this point, then you do this, and then it's done. Mission complete. Next chapter. And I'm wondering at what point the game actually gives you that little bit of a break to go off and explore the map and do some of the side missions. There's that guy that owns the garage, the one you have to take the race car to. And he tells you specifically at the end of that mission, if you come back and see him, he's got a bit of a sideline, a business opportunity for you. And so far, I've not had an option in the game to actually be able to go back there and talk to him. Yet there is an icon on the map. So I know I can go there, visit him and that. All a bit weird. $11,300 still in the corn stalks. Straw. The straw is definitely very profitable. Massively increases your income from doing some of these crops. I suppose I ought to put my headphones on and actually listen to the game and also see if Mr. Helky's in Discord. That would probably be an appropriate time. He is indeed in Discord. Let me first of all switch on my headphones. Discord. And then Mr. Helky can talk to me and have a conversation. Remembering, of course, that we've got to be really, really quiet.
I was wondering.
Because,
No, my wife is not here.
She's not sleeping still.
I was wondering when you stop your monologue about this mafia game.
Oh, you've got a monologue. You've got a monologue.
Yeah, saving the game is a. Yeah, I played with the controller and didn't give me the option until the first cutscene was over on the next mission.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I expect the game to be, once you are a little bit streamlined, that you have some free time to roam, to run around and do side missions.
Well, that's what I'm expecting, because it's like, I know there are side missions in the game from the original. But so far,
I mean, it hints at several places. It hints towards that.
Yeah. But so far, I've not had any option to do any free exploration in the remake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the other thing you said about the choice you had in the first version of the game, but maybe whatever choice you took, it didn't change the game at all. So that's why they have removed it, maybe.
Maybe.
So that you actually don't have two storylines, whatever your choice is.
But then there's obviously... there are some choices which obviously affect how, obviously, Tommy as your character appears as a, you know, a person sort of thing. Because there's one mission in which I did last night where there's a bit where you're chasing after these people. You're chasing after these bad people. And the car crashes, their car crashes, and you and Paulie, I think it is, obviously go up to the car. And the driver's still alive in the car. He's still alive in the wreck. And Paulie tells you to obviously finish him off, sort of thing. And you don't do it. The character doesn't do it. He just stands there because he doesn't want to be a killer. So eventually, Paulie pushes him out of the way and shoots the guy. But then after that, there's a mission where you have to go to this hotel to talk to this woman. And in the original game, you have the option when you meet the woman, you can shoot her and kill her because she's been basically telling the other mafia boss a load of secrets about your little group.
The Morello guy.
Yeah, she's been leaking information to the Morello group. So you have the option, you can kill her. You walk into the room and, you know, you can shoot her and that's it. She's dealt with. Or, in the original game, you also have the option, you can tell her to leave town and never ever come back. So you kind of spare her life. Which, again, plays in with this aspect of Tommy doesn't want to kill people. There's a certain line he won't cross.
Yeah, but does that change the story that comes next? You know, that's the question.
I don't know.
Or is it just a psychological thing that he's scrupulous or not, so that he has a conscience?
Well, that's the thing. Certainly from the remake at the moment, from what I've seen of the remake so far, it's the changes are definitely playing into this aspect of he has this conscience.
But that's what the story starts with. He talks to the police officer. So he obviously wants to change his life.
Yeah, the saving is very odd in that game. I know people got annoyed in Mafia 2 because the way the saving worked in Mafia 2 was if you exited the game at any point during a mission, when you reloaded, it went right back to the start. So you got all the... You had to redo the whole fucking mission from the beginning with the cutscene and everything.
I just see you standing there in the field. Your double is standing here.
I'm standing in my field. I'm outstanding in the field. I really am.
Yeah, when I started the game and I already died twice.
Yeah, you do die. Yeah.
Because I didn't know where the marker is next, which way I have to run. So they shot me. And the game's over. Finished.
The Running Man, yeah. I tell you what, that was... There's certain parts of the remake where it's not quite as brutally difficult as it was in the original.
Yeah.
But then there are other parts of the game where it's just like, oh God, they still haven't fixed this. This is still way harder than it needs to be.
I play in normal mode, so it should be possible.
Because there's one mission I did where I was running away from some cops, and they're shooting at you. And in the original, you could run away from them. In the remake, you can't run. You have to fight them and you have to shoot them. Otherwise, they kill you. You know, if they shoot you and hit you, you die. So in the remake, you now have to actually do battle with them, which is a little bit weird. I know in the original, you could run away, you could zigzag and avoid the bullets and get away from the police, but
yeah,
definitely changed that bit. Yes, I have died a few times.
It looks you're making quite good money with so strong.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, each trailer load is bringing in about 11,500. So, I mean, I've only done one delivery of corn so far today, so nearly all the money we've made today has been from the straw. And I'm full again. I don't know what crop to put on this field next. I think what we got planted everywhere. Might do canola maybe on it. Big massive canola harvest. Got soybeans on the other field.
Yeah, plant potatoes. Yeah.
Not until we've got the washer and
Makes
the
us-
steamer.
Makes a lot of work and doesn't give us any money.
Well, yeah, not until we've got the potato washer and the steamer. And then we can still sell steamed potatoes. Because they're worth a lot of money.
So how much did the first load of corn pay?
I think it was just under 100 grand. I think it was just ever so
Okay.
slightly under 100 grand. Was it under? No, because no, it would have been just under 150 grand. I think because it's a 150,000 litre trailer, and I think it was about 900 bucks was the best price at the time I went and sold it. Price has gone up a little bit now at some of the other places. Jeeves Mill is offering 999 bucks. No, it's not. Prices have gone down now, actually.
For the corn, it's only 400.
Yeah, I was reading the wrong column. Prices have gone down. It was over 400 bucks when I sold the first trailer.
Maybe you better put it in the silo.
I'm down to 355 now. Yeah, we might silo the rest of the corn then, because those prices are not very appealing, especially as they're decreasing everywhere at the minute. We'll just take the money from the straw. The main thing is we've got 301,000 bucks in the bank now, so when the loan goes out at midnight, we'll be able to pay for it.
Yeah, we can't afford anything else, but we can pay the loan.
Well, we said it yesterday, we're only working for the bank.
Yeah. But the same what you did is pay, before the loan is pulled, you should pay back some loan.
Well, I did
then
that.
rather work from the depth, from the minus towards break even or a little bit more, rather than leaving the depths and then start again next day.
Well, I did repay a little bit yesterday.
Yeah.
Of the loan from when we sold the silage bales. I'll be able to repay a little bit more today based on what this straw's giving us. By the time I finish doing all the straw on this field, be able to pay a bit more off.
Just maybe leave about the amount or a little bit less than what you had to pay last day. Last time it was 280,000, I think.
Yeah, so I probably wouldn't want to go lower than 300 grand in our finances. Anything over 300 grand we can pay towards the loan. We will try and keep 300 grand in the account just to make sure we cover any payment that goes out, and then obviously leaves us with money in the account for buying things like seed and fertiliser, which we're probably going to need. I'm going to guess this field's going to want probably lime spreading and ploughing. Because, you know, it's bound to after we've done our first harvest.
I'm so, oh yeah. It needs ploughing, definitely, this field. It's a big field.
It's a big field. Full again.
Will it need lime as well? Again?
The field.
Probably.
Yeah, needs lime. Jeez. That's the bit.
Jeez Louise.
That's the bit that's the real kicker, because that lime spreader uses lime fucking ridiculously fast.
That's a lot of money, yeah?
Goes through the lime so quickly, and it spreads such a short distance. You don't cover a lot of the field.
We just leave the lime and don't lime. How much does it reduce our yield if you don't?
If you don't lime.
Because currently it's money we need.
If you don't have lime, it will reduce the yield by 15%.
15, that's quite a lot.
Yeah, 15%.
That's a little bit much.
Yeah, basically, fertilizer, if you get each fertilizer stage adds 25% to the yield, and the lime adds 15% for a total bonus of 65%. We don't have to worry about the weeds, so we're never going to lose 20% of our yield because of weeds, because we've got weeds turned off. But if you don't plough the field, that also decreases your yield by 15%. So if you didn't plough and didn't lime, you would lose 30% of your yield. That's a lot.
Unacceptable. That's unacceptable. Question is, how much do we spend with lime? How much do we have to spend on the lime?
Well, the lime itself isn't all that expensive. Filling that spreader up isn't that expensive. It's more a case of the time, because it runs out so quick that you're going to be driving backwards and forwards, to keep refilling it. You're only going to be able to spread a little bit of the field each time before you have to go.
Maybe you use an ogre wagon with lime.
Well, yeah, you could fill the auger wagon and then refill the spreader in the field, definitely.
I made you a little bit curvy line here to give you a little challenge.
I was kind of thinking, but one of the things I'm kind of thinking in my mind is how quickly it is before we can get rid of
You are thinking in your brain?
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
I'm thinking in my brain how quickly
Or in
it
your
will be
mind.
before we can get rid of the Navigator 6000 and the K105. Get rid of those 2 bits of machinery and replace them.
With the bigger machines.
Yeah.
We could use this other one as a liquid lime applicator. A liquid lime sprayer. Like liquid fertilizer.
Because obviously that John Deere self-propelled bit of kit would be much, much nicer to use for the fertilising and lime spreading.
But that's expensive.
Yeah, that's the downside, and that's why I'm kind of looking at it. I'm looking at how long will it be before we can sell off and replace those 2 bits of machinery with the John Deere. It's kind of why I was hoping the corn price would have been much better. I was hoping we'd get really, really rich from the corn price. So effectively, when you look at the thing, the sprayer is like worth 84,000. The Bradle is worth 34,000. So when we sell those back, that's like 110,000 that we're going to get back.
But you get that money back?
Yeah, we get that money back. That's our money. That's how much the items have gone down in price. So the new sprayer, the attachment is 84 grand. So selling our sprayer, our Navigator, pretty much is a like-for-like replacement of the new sprayer. Same as on I think the fertilizer. No, the fertilizer will be more. K105 is 39,000. Yeah, the new.
But that's only liquid, huh?
Yeah.
No, you have also solid.
Yeah, the new
fertilizer.
the new solid box is a little bit more expensive. So that's 48 grand. But obviously the big expense is buying the actual machine itself, which is the 195 grand bit.
No,
That's the bit. Changing the actual the attachments is not so expensive, but it's that initial 195 grand that we have to fork out to get the John Deere bit that the attachments go on. That's why I was like thinking, I wish the corn prices had been around about $1,000 for the corn rather than 400, because
it's a little bit disappointing, huh, that it's so low.
Corn is so low.
I mean, it should be more than oats, or maybe similar to soybeans and sunflowers at least, but they are also pretty low. Soybeans are 1,000. So at least canola or soybeans we need to plant here to make money.
Yeah, canola I would go for, because we've got soybeans on field 4. Canola will also give us straw, which is nice. We can do canola straw, which will always again give us that bonus as well.
Soybeans is no straw?
Soybeans does do straw, yes. We do get soybean straw, because we did it on the contract, on field 17.
So soybeans,
corn and canola
would be higher price and straw, but less yield, yeah?
Less yield. Less yield. There's the ice cream man.
He's a bit late today.
So I need to refill and repair. Harvester is at less than 25% fuel.
Refuel and repair. I think the truck will need refueling as well soon. Getting a bit on the low side. I don't think many people are buying an ice cream today.
Splash.
Splash!
It should splash at least 50 meters to each side.
I also like the fact that obviously in the real world, what people would have done would be to put a pipe across that road, to let the water flow from one side to the other, and then cover the pipe over.
Cover it. Yeah.
Makes no sense to have a ford across your road when you could just pipe the water under it. A little bridge.
Wait, I'll put the expensive machine into the shed. That it doesn't get wet. I see 2 CWATTYESO on this field. This game, I don't know. Sometimes.
The netcode needs a lot of work still.
Sometimes, most of the times.
The multiplayer aspect of this game really does need a lot of work to improve it. Improve the netcode.
So I'm 80% full. Put it in the silo.
Yeah, silo it. Silo it.
It's 120,000.
I'm not selling the corn for 400 bucks. Less than 400 bucks. And we'll wait for the prices to become
Or I could convert them into tacos. Or something like that. Corn chips.
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
Popcorn. There's a popcorn factory mod that lets you put corn in and get popcorn out. It's a global company mod for popcorn. And I love the fact that the trailer filled up with just that little bit of the straw left to pick up. So I've got to drive all the way to the farm, sell it, and drive all the way back just to get a couple of litres. Every time. You could set your bloody watch by it, couldn't you? You know? If you went to the bookies and said, what odds would you give me on the fact that there'll be like, you know, 100
1 to
litres
2.
of 100 litres of straw left at the end of the field before my trailer gets full. They'd go, yeah, no. It's a certainty. We're not going to give you any odds because it's guaranteed. You know that's going to happen.
So fertilizer first.
Yeah, if there's fertiliser in the spreader.
There is some
I'm
in
almost
it.
wondering
I
if
think
it.
I
I'm
have to
almost
refill it.
wondering if it would be better to use the sprayer. Put the liquid fertiliser. Then you haven't.
Why?
Because then you haven't got to keep emptying the Bradle.
Yeah, okay. Then I will. I mean, you fill up the liquid fertilizer, and I will
You do the line.
get rid of the solid fertilizer, which is in.
Or if it's full of solid fertiliser, then go solid fertiliser.
Huh?
If it's
What?
already full of, if the Bradle is already full
No,
of,
it's just 27%. So I might not get rid of it completely for the field, but we can at least try to empty it.
thinking if it's full of fertiliser already, or it's got, like say, 20, you might as well use that fertiliser first. Get it used, get it emptied, and then you can fill it up with the lime.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, sure.
I know we don't have a lot of lime. I think there's only about 200 litres of lime, isn't there? There's like one pallet with like
Yeah,
a
it's
little bit.
yeah.
Because I didn't fully run out when I was doing field 4.
I think it was 2%.
And just enough lime to finish that field. And I was like, yes, that's one time where the game didn't troll me. That's all the straw collected. Good field, this. Good harvest. Corn stalks for the win. 133 grand. Not bad, seeing as I started today with what, 50, 60 grand in the bank? Was it 64 when I logged in?
Right.
Put on and like I say, most of that money's come from the straw. We're looking at probably remember what the actual corn gave me, because I say I wasn't paying attention to the screen at the time as I was selling the corn. Right, so I'll grab the sprayer. No fertiliser in it. Right. Run out of fertiliser yet?
No, just the third. Third is gone. 2,000 left. I would probably need the whole field to get rid of the fertilizer.
Really?
Yeah.
Out of fertiliser yet?
No. It's about half of the fertilizer as compared to when I started.
I'll hang fire. I'll hang fire with the spraying then. What we'll do is go get the auger wagon filled up with some line. Of course, you're using the red tractor, aren't you? Any lime in the silo? Doesn't look like it. $38,000 litres of lime in this wagon. What if all will do? Let's have a half full.
Still going. So 750 liters left.
Leave that there then, because it's got lime in it now, the auger wagon. 750 litres, that will just about finish the field, won't it? Grab a plough. Hello, Luca. 13481. Welcome to the stream. Vale over here. Run down. Finished fertilising nearly.
It's 163 left.
Okay, well, tip that out somewhere. We can put it in the auger wagon later and take it back to the farm. I won't need the sprayer. Good. One less thing to do. But it's full of fertiliser ready for if we need it in the future. I'm going to take the gamble then. I'm going to take the risk that we don't need to buy any more lime. So I'm going to put 20 grand, another 20 grand, pay back another 20 grand of the loan. It should be about 100 grand total we've repaid. Hopefully it won't cost us quite so much at midnight. Blackwing ploughing.
Oh, your other self has gone. It's left.
My other self has logged off, hasn't he? Fake imposter me has logged off. Accept no substitutes or imitations. There's only one me. So appreciate what you've got, because basically I'm fantastic.
If I were you, I would wish to be me. Have you loaded up enough plow stuff?
Enough plowed stuff?
Have you loaded up enough plow stuff?
Hopefully.
Or are you running out of plow stuff soon?
I hope I've got enough plough stuff to do this field. I shouldn't have to go
Okay.
and buy any more plough stuff. One tank should be enough.
It's be a big tank.
Question is, have you got enough tank of lime?
Almost out of line. Need to buy more lemons to squeeze the lime out of it.
Lemon and lime.
Some of those green lemons. Yeah.
And those green
There
non-lemons.
it goes.
At least you haven't got to drive all the way back to the farm to refill.
Absolutely.
The auger wagon comes in there.
I think if
usually.
that would be if that were the case, you would catch up. You would catch up with your plowing.
I don't know about that. Plow's only 8 metres and you're spreading at 12, so every row you do, you gain 4 metres on me.
If I were exactly doing it, like you think. I'm overlapping a little bit.
Yeah, I'm overlapping as I'm ploughing as well, so I'm not really ploughing 8 metres every time.
Yeah. Where's my GPS?
It's one of those optional add-ons. Doesn't come as standard on the tractor. Bit like when you buy a car. If you want the furry dice, that's an extra £5 grand. Grand for fluffy dice? Yeah, well, it's not a standard feature.
And some smelly tree.
Smelly tree. Gotta have your smelly trees. With that new car smell.
I mean, your car smells of piss. Now with the smelly tree, it smells like somebody pissed in the woods. How do you know where behind the tree is? It's where the shit is. It's always behind the tree. Misfits. Cannot misfits. Double the work.
Double, triple, quadruple the work.
But you can orient yourself with on the stubbles on the field. Give you a nice line. There are some where we cut off the corn sticking out.
See, I just go by the degrees on the mini-map.
Oh, that's clever.
I just make sure I'm driving at 270 degrees and at 90 degrees.
It's correct.
And I know I'm going in a straight line. Once the field requires me to drive a little bit sideways. We're doing very well. Let's check how much lime's in the oil wagon. You've refilled quite a few times now. Betty's gone through that 44 grand of lime that I bought.
Yeah, it goes through like that. It's crazy. Uses so much stuff.
12,000 litres left in here.
How much?
12,000 left in the auger wagon.
4?
12,000.
Ah, 12. It's another refill. Oh, shit.
You're gonna have to get some more then before the build is finished.
Almost full.
Almost full.
Yeah, I'm 70% full.
I'll buy some more then, quick. How much does it hold? On
I'm
spreader?
not sure, 12,000? 10,000? Yeah, should be something like 11,000.
We run out of the top or the bottom of the field.
%30. Ah, missed a bit again. 11,000 it holds.
Okay, so there's 50. There was 50,000 litres in that auger wagon, so you've got at least 4 and a bit refills.
Oh. No, not that way. That's not the correct. Shadows are getting longer and longer.
Shadows. Long, long shadows. Oh, it's getting night time. In game, of course, that is. It's not getting night time in the real world.
How is plowing going?
Okay.
Or are you already asleep?
I'm starting to nod off a little bit. I'm starting to get a little bit tired. But then I've not had a lot of sleep.
The thing is keeping your concentration if you don't use GPS. That's a problem.
I went to sleep about 6 o'clock this morning and I woke up about 10 o'clock. I've only had about 4 hours sleep today.
Maybe you should go to sleep earlier.
I'll try. It's not easy. My brain tends to be more awake at night. And it's been like that for the last couple of weeks, which is really taking some getting used to.
But I think when you play a game, you cannot go sleep after that immediately. You need to relax, do something, reading or whatever. Because your brain is still in the game.
Brain is still in the matrix.
The Matrix. So what football match are you taking your father to eventually?
The local team,
Okay.
hometown team.
And obviously audiences are allowed. Alright.
Yeah, because
Because
they're
there are not many people coming.
They're non-league. They're a non-league side, so they only get about, on average, about 200 people attending the games. And there's plenty of room that people can get into the stadium and not be close to each other. You don't have to worry about social distancing when there's only 200 people turning up to watch.
Yeah.
I think it's a cup game today, I think. A bit weird because he's had to go online to book his ticket. He can't just turn up and pay on the gate.
Yeah.
He's had to book it.
You need your credentials.
Or I think there was something like, if you booked online, you got a £2 saving. If you tried to pay on the gate, it's going to cost you £2 more or something. So he says it's a bit annoying because obviously cup matches aren't included in his season ticket. His season ticket only covers him for league games. Well, I suppose is one thing. I know at the level that his team plays at, they have that many bloody cup matches. Something's going wrong. Why is my stream not working? Fine there. It's just not working on my iPad for some reason. Wonder if there's an app update again. Have a look. No, it might be the fact that my internet's not working at all on the iPad. I'm going to put my VPN on. Fix it. Yes, there is. Twitch update. Why do you do this to me, Twitch? Why do you do this to me, Twitch? Right, that's up to date. So now it should let me.
After that row, I'll have a dinner break.
Come on. There we go. That's fixed it. I've done a flipping app update in the middle of my stream. That's terrible.
Sure.
At least the program I use for recording and streaming had the decency to update before I started streaming on my PC. As soon as I opened it, it said, "Oh, there's a new update. Would you like to install it?" I was like, "You know what? Yes, I will. I will install it before I start streaming." And then Nvidia popped up. "Oh, we've got a new driver. Would you like to install that?" And I was like, "Nope." I don't play Call of Duty Modern Warfare or whatever, so I don't need that driver just yet. I've only just installed your last driver update. And I'm not impressed. I want my little green numbers back. I want my little green numbers back, Nvidia. I don't like your new performance center overlay thing. It's too freaking big and messy and in your face. I much preferred my frame rate count just to be little green numbers in the corner of the screen. Less intrusive. Far less intrusive.
Hello, chickens. You are not there yet. In your face.
In your face, chickens?
There's my green tractor.
Field ploughed, and it's ready for reseeding. So they get canola on there. Do a great big massive canola harvest. Massive yield. Get the straw as well. Happy days. I think we'll have all the regular crops to harvest soon. Oh, the wheat, the barleys, the oats, is it? You know, ticking along very slowly, slow and steady. Main thing is we made quite a lot of money today with our 2 harvests and all our other little extra bits that we was doing with the straw and then the silage. So hopefully we've got enough money in the bank account to pay, take the hit with the loan. We will receive some money from the BGA at midnight, which will also be nice to offset our costs a little bit. And hopefully tomorrow as well there'll be some nice contracts on the map. Maybe, just maybe, some new contracts available. I haven't seen a lot of fertilising contracts yet being offered by the other farmers, but it'd be nice to see some fertilising contracts come into the mix because they're usually pretty quick to be able to do. Generally make you a nice bit of money. Especially if you could do 3 or 4 in one go. But because it's early doors on the map, a lot of the contracts are for ploughing and cultivating or for harvesting. And we need the other farmers to get a little bit worked through their fields and start to get their fields staggered a little bit, and it will give us a bit more variety on the contracts. For some weird reason, the refresh contracts mod doesn't seem to work on the server. It doesn't have any effect when you press the button, so I wonder if that mod is single player game only.
Maybe.
Maybe the scripts don't work in multiplayer on the server. Shame. In single player, it's a good mod for.
Dinner's ready. Just finish this row.
Ready. What's for dinner tonight for me?
Maybe you get some food as well.
Possibly. I don't know what the plan is.
Maybe you get some early food today.
Oh yeah, that would normally be the plan if because if Father is going to football, then probably we would have dinner early. But then there's the possibility that if Father's going to football, he might decide that he picks something up on the way home. We get takeaway or something on the way home. And everybody has dinner later then. Difficult one to predict.
Okay. Catch you later.
Catch you later, Mr. Hoagie. He will now go and play Factorio or Mafia or
Maybe I'll
Medieval
jump on
Dynasty.
the server later. Jump on the server later, do some ploughing, do some seeding.
Yeah, there'll be probably some seeding to do. I'll probably finish the ploughing and then I'll probably go for a break at that point and call it a night for myself. I can then look at getting some more of my Mafia video stuff sorted out. I've got 2 videos like ready to upload and schedule, and then there's a couple that I need to finish editing and start rendering. And obviously I'll be in a position where I can play some more then. Tomorrow I want to do Formula 1. I want to have Formula 1 Wednesday, where I record the next race ready for the weekend, which will be the British Grand Prix for me. But Formula 1's a bit of a chore to record, because that does take an entire day.
Jetzt kommt der Chalentra. Sorry, I'm not talking to you.
He's not talking to me. Not special. The good thing is, by doing soybeans on field 4 and by doing canola on this field, we're not going to have to plough and lime after the next harvest. We're not going to have to plough and lime again so soon. The one trap of like going, oh yeah, we've just done a corn harvest, let's plant corn again, means that again after your next harvest you would have to lime and plough again. As much as it's nice to do those crops, they do generate extra work. So by planting the crops that don't require us to do the ploughing and liming out of sequence and allowing us to do three harvests before we have to plough and lime, it's quite nice. Because it is the most time consuming part of the game, because there's not really that many big ploughs available. It's the one area of the mod hub that's still very much underutilized. No one's really brought out any good plough mods. This is the biggest plough mod you can get on the in-game mod hub, and this is only 8 meters. I know I've got some John Deere ploughs from like modding groups and Facebook groups that are bigger. You know, we've got I've had I think a 12 meter one, I think there's a 15 meter one, I think I've also got a 20 meter one somewhere, but we're not using those on the server. So this is the biggest plough we can get. So it takes a long time to do the ploughing. Cultivating is so much faster because the cultivators go up to stupid sizes. You know, with the Bourgeot DLC, you can get like a 36 meter cultivator, which makes very short work of the fields. Makes very short work of the fields. Yeah, we haven't really had any ploughs that keep up with the cultivators and stuff. Cultivators and seeders, they seem to get bigger and bigger with every mod release and every DLC release. We've never got any new ploughs. My iPad has frozen again. Come on. This thing. I'm starting to think I need to invest in a new iPad, because it seems like my iPad has issues connecting to the Wi-Fi. Originally, I thought the problem was with the Wi-Fi that I was connecting to. I was connecting to someone else's Wi-Fi with my iPad, not my Wi-Fi. But then I was running into problems, so I was like, you know what? I'll connect it to my iPad, my Wi-Fi, and see what happens. But I'm still having the same problems. So I'm like, I wonder if the issue then is not with my with the Wi-Fi, it's with the iPad. I don't have a software update or something that I have to do I? Because I know sometimes Apple tend to be a bit weird, where they start to fucking mesh your network setting connectivity up if you need to install a operating system update, and it looks like I need to do a update on my iPad. So that's probably why my Wi-Fi on my iPad is playing up. They do that to force you to update. Oh, update to our latest software, and suddenly your Wi-Fi is magically fixed. All your connectivity issues go away. But of course, by updating to our new software, we get all new tracking features and spying options. Yeah, that's just annoying me. So, you know what? I can't see the stream. I'm going to unplug my cable because it doesn't let me. That'll now, I'm going to do the software update on my iPad. I'm such a bad streamer, I apologise to everybody. I don't have a second screen. As everybody who follows me regularly knows, my PC is connected to a 42-inch LG television. I don't actually use a computer monitor. And I therefore, because I use a 42-inch TV, don't have the room to set up a second monitor. So I can't have all the streamy stuff and the chat and all that stuff on a separate monitor. The game, when I'm playing a game, I can only see the game. So for me to monitor the stream and monitor the chat, load it up on my iPad instead. I wonder if it would be better on my phone. I'm seeing. It's on Twitch. It's working on my phone because, of course, my phone is not using the Wi-Fi. I'm using my cellular. Yeah, that's better. Not that I've got really a lot more to. I haven't got a lot more to do really, so. Then. Plod along. But the trouble is, I've asked the iPad to update, and because the iPad can't get a Wi-Fi signal, it can't download the update. Oh, there we go, downloading. There we go. About 14 minutes remaining. I'll let that update. My iPad's really old as well. It's like I think it's an iPad Air. One of the first iPad Airs. You know, it's getting on for what? 6 years old, 7 years old. So yeah, it's not the most up to date. There comes a point where obviously the software updates and stuff that Apple send out will no longer work with my device, so my device will eventually become like unsupported, and at that point I will have to buy a new one. But I have been toying with the idea and thinking about maybe getting a little external monitor. I've seen you can buy these little like USB monitors now for your computer, like these little like 11-inch and 13-inch monitors that just plug in via USB and act as like a second monitor. And I'm wondering if I ought to get one of those that I could have on my desk for monitoring my stream and chat and stuff. But it's not. But then I don't need to worry about having the iPad then. The only thing I would need is a spare USB port on my PC, which might be the issue. Don't have a lot of available USBs anymore. Yeah, an 11-inch or 13-inch portable monitor would be no different than me sat here with the iPad on my desk, because the iPad's about the same size. Or, well, no, the iPad's about 10-inch, isn't it, I suppose? So I would gain a little bit of, I'd gain a bit of real estate by using a portable monitor rather than my iPad for streaming. The thing I've got to be mindful of is that when I upgrade my TV in a couple of weeks, yeah, fine. Then what, pick you up, what, 9:45? I was tempted not to bother coming home. Spent 2 hours sat in the lay-by instead, watching videos on my phone. Probably watch Darth Zyle, he'll probably be streaming at that point. Watch him. One of the things I've also noticed that's quite weird about my iPad currently, when it comes to the Wi-Fi internet connectivity and stuff, if I connect it to my 5G Wi-Fi, it tends to be more reliable. Whereas if I connect it to the 2.4 gig network, either mine or somebody else's, that's when I tend to have issues where it won't load stuff and play stuff, and that to me feels weird, because I would have thought it would have been more consistent on the 2.4 gig, which is basically standard internet Wi-Fi, and it would have had probably more issues with the 5G connectivity, depending obviously on distance from router and obstacles between router and iPad. 5G tends to be a little bit more connectivity sporadic unless you're in the same location as the router. So I do find it a bit weird that, like I say, by connecting to a 5G network, it seems to work better. I tend to have less connectivity, internet dropouts and stuff. Very weird. Unless there's something interfering, that we're getting some interference on the standard Wi-Fi signal. On the standard 2.4 gig. It's a long time since I've run my Wi-Fi analyzer program. Check what channels and bands are being used in the area surrounding me, because obviously depending on all the other houses and all the people in the street that, you know, all the other people in the street, depending how they've got their internets set up and configured, there might be a lot of congestion on some of the channels, Wi-Fi channels and that. If people don't actually like go in and manually configure their routers, if they just load them up in like factory default mode, then there's potentially a lot of people trying to use the same channels for their Wi-Fi and broadcasting. So there might be a lot of like noise, a lot of interference from different channels, different Wi-Fis, different people's Wi-Fi's trying to share the same space. So normally I do like a Wi-Fi analyzer to scan all the Wi-Fi and try and find where there is gaps. And I try and put my routers onto those gaps where there's less people broadcasting. But I haven't done that for a long time. Probably need to rerun it. Because obviously if we've had new people moving into the street, or people have been changing their broadbands and changing their routers, then there's potentiality that the settings I'm currently using are a little bit outdated, and I might need to shift my broadcast channels. Such a complicated thing. Like I said, that does make more sense now thinking about it, actually. Because I'm not having connectivity issues on the 5G, only on the standard. I know there's a lot of people that don't use 5G still. Don't have routers that are 5G capable, especially with some of the broadband providers here in the UK. If they've had been with their provider for a long time and still got old modems or routers, they might not have 5G capability. And obviously 5G's got a much shorter broadcast distance and reception distance than 2.4. And I'm pretty sure I don't have a lot of devices that connect to 5G. I'm almost certain I don't have anything else in the house that connects to the 5G network. Made sure of that. Only my phone and my iPad should connect to it. None of the TVs should. PlayStation doesn't, because the PlayStation's hardwired. The timescale is now at 3 times speed. The timescale seems to change when we log out. That should be on 2 times speed, maybe. I think what I do is I finish the ploughing, I can sleep and fast forward the night. And that way then, at least if Mr. Helgi does jump in later on and comes back to play a bit more, he'll have a brand new day ahead of him. Fresh day, daylight. And then he'll be free to do his seeding. And then if he wants to do contracts, or there might be some I don't know if there'll be any other harvesting to do. Look at the field, says no. Because fields 2, 3 and 9 will still be in the growing phase. Like I say, hopefully contracts will renew and there'll be some new contracts available, and like I say, hopefully some fertilising contracts, because I don't mind fertilising contracts. They're normally pretty quick to do, and they normally pay the most money to do. So a win-win. Harvesting contracts at this point in time, I would tend to go for harvesting contracts, providing the crop being harvested gives us straw, so we can maximise the profitability. Because often it will be the straw that you make your money from, and generally speaking, the straw you collect from the contract field and sell will actually earn you more money than what the contract is offering you. Was certainly the case the other night when we did the soybeans on field 17. The contract was like for 20 grand to harvest the field, yet the 12 or so trailers of straw that we had that were paying out at like 11 grand a time, 12 grand a time, actually ended up making us more money than the contract paid. It was almost like, throw the soybeans away, throw the crop away. We don't need the crop. It's a waste of time. We just want the straw. Just want the straw stalks. That's what we want. Weird though, because like I say, in actual hindsight now, it didn't take very long to harvest this field, despite this being probably the biggest field on the map. I think it didn't actually take that long to do the harvesting, but the fertilising, the lime spreading and the ploughing afterwards, geez, that's taken a long time. Hence why it's now dark. So we will be free to plant the next crop, and like I say, the next crop on this field will be canola, and by doing that it means that once we harvest the canola we can just fertilise, cultivate and then plant the next crop straight after. We haven't got to do the ploughing and the lime, because by doing those sorts of crops, when we're going to be able to do 3 harvests before we need to plough and lime again. Out of all the crops now, it's funny this, but I actually think sunflower is now probably the worst crop. Because you're going to have to plough after you've harvested the sunflowers. You might not need to lime, but you definitely need to plough. And sunflower is now the only crop that doesn't give you straw. Because the straw, with the straw me mod adding straw for corn, canola and soybeans, sunflowers is the only crop where you don't actually get any extra. You don't get any like extra stuff to sell. A bonus. So although sunflowers are the prettiest and nicest looking crop to plant and have growing in your fields, they're probably now actually one of the worst, because they generate more work for you in the fact that you have to plough after harvesting and you don't get any bonus stuff that you can sell. no, I'm not going to say that, oh, potatoes are the worst crop at all, because potatoes aren't that bad, actually. If you've got the potato washer and the steamer, and you put your harvested potatoes through the washer, and then the steamer, get your steamed potatoes and take the steamed potatoes and sell. Potatoes are actually a good way of making good money, because steamed potatoes fetch quite a lot. Steamed potatoes fetch a lot of money. Okay, yes, you need to buy the machinery, you need to buy the washer, you need to buy the steamer. That's an outlay. That's quite going. But I'll tell you what, you quickly make your money back, especially with the yield that potatoes gives you. No, it's a bit of a pain in the pain in the ass to harvest. If you don't have like the Tetron harvester. Obviously that harvester I used to do field 9 the first day on this map is not great. It's not a brilliant harvester. It's a lot better than the Roper one. That Roper one was incredibly frustrating to use on La Coronella, because it's such a long ass bit of machinery, and then it's got that annoying thing where the wheels on the harvester turn as you're steering with the tractor. So when you're trying to maneuver the machine, it's like working against you with its steering, because the wheels aren't locked on the harvester. You know the one I'm talking about, the one in here, that one, the one with the boar painted on the side. This thing, I'm sure it's this thing, the keeler. The wheels turn as you're trying to steer with the tractor. So when you're trying to reverse this thing, it works against you. And I know when we was trying to drive round the outside of the fit with the, I mean, obviously La Coronella's probably not the greatest example, because obviously it had fences and gates that were very close to the field edge, to the edge of the fields. But it got stuck quite a lot, because as you're trying to drive one way with the tractor, the wheels on the machine are steering in the opposite way. And I'm like, I mean, normally with like normal trailers, I use a mod to lock the steering axles, because I find it easier to reverse trailers when the wheels are fixed, when the pivot point of the trailer is fixed, you know, and you just basically using the power of the tractor to just force the trailer where you want it to go, to turn and steer. When you've got the actual wheels on the trailer actively steering, trying to assist you, when actually they don't, they're not assisting you at all. They're actually flipping complicating the maneuver completely. I don't like that. So I definitely prefer fixed axled equipment. I don't know if I've got the lock steer, if I've got the locked steering axle mod installed on the server. We probably don't have, because I know we didn't have it on La Coronella. We didn't have it on the last map, and I'm using the same mod folder, so we probably don't have it. But I probably ought to add it, because it does make life a lot easier when it comes to reversing trailers. The only exception being, of course, is the trailers which have the swivelly front axle, which you can't do anything about with those. You can't do anything with those. I must admit, the first time I saw the lock steering axle mod on, I think it was LS Farming website. I had thought, when I saw it, lock steering axle, I thought it was a mod that made it so that the trailers like this, it locked that front bit, so that didn't turn, that didn't muck about. So again, when you were reversing this trailer, the tractor is basically just brute forcing the trailer to go where it wants it to go. That doesn't actually move, but it didn't. It's a shame. It's a shame no one's come out with a mod that locks those kind of trailers, because that would be brilliant. That would be like, you know, quality of life mod. Guaranteed installed on every single map and playthrough you do type mod. Because those trailers with the front axle, yeah, they're a nightmare. You try reversing one of them, and you're just gonna get it. You're just gonna get it wrapped around your neck. I see some people who actually disconnect those trailers, turn the tractor around, reconnect the trailer on the front of the tractor to try and get into a parking space a lot better. You know, when they come to park the trailer at the farm, they connect it to the front of the tractor, because apparently it's a little bit easier to steer it and get it to go where you want to go when it's on the front of the tractor. But I've never actually tried that myself. Simple reason, I'm not stupid enough to buy one of them trailers in the first place. And if I load up a map that gives me one of those trailers, that's the first thing I sell. Back to the shop, and then I buy a normal trailer. So we had, I think it was for like 161,000, just over 161,000 litres of silage that went to the BGA at the start of this in-game day, which will pay out at midnight. Obviously we'll have the loan repayment to worry about. I don't think it's going to be 280 grand, because I think the loan has actually gone a bit weird. If you was watching the stream last night, you will have noticed that when I actually went to make my first loan repayment in the finances screen, when I went in here and went to repay loan, when I pressed the button, the loan amount didn't change. Well, actually it did. It went to 3 million. So our actual in-game money, in-game balance, went to minus 6 million. We ended up having like minus 600 million in our bank account. And I was like, something's gone wrong there. Now, I don't know whether that's because I added the loan via editing the XML file when I set the map up. I didn't add the loan in-game by borrowing money. I went into the XML of the save game folder and actually manually edited it so we owed 10 million to the bank, and also changed the loan rate to make the loan rate a little bit higher so that we would actually pay more interest every single day. Because obviously what generally happens on these servers is that we normally start out from scratch, and then within a couple of sessions of playing, you know, harvesting crops, selling crops, we've usually got, you know, loads of money, and then there's never any challenge after that. There's never any real incentive to do anything, because, you know, you've made, you know, you harvest your first crops of stuff and sell it, and you've got £1 million in the bank, and it's like, well, money's no issue after that. So I wanted to do things a bit different this time round. So I added in the fact that we started with minus 10 million. effectively, by having a $10 million loan hanging over our heads. The problem with that was, the first night on the map, when Mr. Helgi skipped time, we got billed 280,000 in interest, and it's like, damn, we have to make 280 grand a day just to stay even. That's going to be quite challenging. To earn 280 grand every single day just to stay where we were and not make any progress. But then, like I say, last night when I actually came to pay off some of the loan, it went weird. The loan went from being 10 million to 3 million, and our actual in-game money went from like 94 grand that we had at the time to minus 606,900,000 or something. So I had to kind of quickly Control Z that and try and fix it. But I think looking at the menu, or looking at the finance screen, our loan is only 3 million that we have to repay. So maybe the game has a limit on how much you can actually owe in terms of loan. Maybe we don't have enough, because I know the way that the game takes into account the value of all your land, equipment and stuff like that in terms of what it will let you borrow. A percentage of everything it gives you a basic. You can borrow a percentage of your overall value. By the time you add up the cost of all your property, your land, your equipment, you can borrow a percentage of that figure. Basically, you're putting all your equipment and buildings and stuff up as collateral, basically. As you know, if you fail to repay the loan, they'll come and take your equipment and land and stuff. That's how they'll get their money back. You know, much like real life. So I'm wondering if starting out on the map with the equipment that we've got, the land that we have got, the buildings that we have got, we couldn't actually if we legitimately went into the game to borrow money, we probably couldn't borrow 10 million. So the fact that I edited the XMLs to give us that 10 million loan means that when I went to repay it in game, the game went, hang on a minute, hang on a minute, you shouldn't even have a 10 million loan because you don't have sufficient stuff. Everything you own doesn't even come to that value, you know. So I think the game's automatically adjusted the loan to what we right, I know that there's 2 tractors normally parking here, but I'm going to put the plough in here. Right, let me go and fast forward. 9 hours would be perfect. If it lets me sleep 9 hours, that'll be perfect, because that'll take us just after 6 AM in the morning. Yeah. We can see what we actually... We got 72 grand from the biogas plant. What did we pay out in loan? $82,000 yeah, big difference there then, isn't there? Yeah, big difference between 82,000 and 280,000. So that's the big difference there between owing the bank 3 million and owing the bank 10 million. You can see the loan interest the first 2 days was like 4 grand. And then we had that one weird day after I edited the save game where we forked out 280 grand. Now the loan is 80. The interest is 80,000 after I've increased the interest rate. So that's fine. That's fine. That's all good. 80 grand a day is a little bit easier to manage than losing 280,000 a day. Right. Anyway. That field is now ready for seeding. Like I say, Mr. Helgi can slap canola on there if he wants to when he is next online. Nice contract there for field 20. Seeding corn. Sunflowers there, 30 grand on field 22. That's going to be seeding potatoes. You can tell that by the fact it's 50 grand and, you know, treble the value of any other contract. So, yes, there we go. Thank you, everyone who has tuned into today's stream. Hope you've enjoyed it. I will be back another time, another day. I will see you all then. For now, from me, it is goodbye. Cheerio. Thanks for watching.